Look, quick question. Have you ever checked your bank account on payday, felt that tiny rush of relief, and then 3 weeks later you're wondering, where did all that money go? Bills paid, a few subscriptions, maybe a car payment, some eating out because honestly you were tired, and at the end of the month, your net worth hasn't moved at all. Here's the thing. If that sounds familiar, you're not bad with money. You're normal. And that's exactly the problem. Because something like 75% of people never reach a $100,000 net worth in their entire lives. Not in cash, not in investments, not combined. Ever. And I'm not talking about people who never had a chance. I'm talking about people with jobs, careers, decades of work. People who look financially fine on the outside, but underneath, nothing is really growing. Today, I want to break down why that happens, not just the math, but the psychology, and more importantly, the exact shifts that separate the people who stay stuck forever from the ones who eventually break through. And fair warning, some of this might make you uncomfortable. That's a good sign. Let's start with numbers, because numbers don't care about feelings. According to Federal Reserve data, the median net worth in the U.S. looks roughly like this: around $7,000 at age 30, about $18,000 at age 40, roughly $40,000 to $45,000 at age 50. Let that sink in. That's after 20, 30 years of working, decades of paychecks, and still nowhere near six figures. Now you might be thinking, okay, but $100,000 isn't even that much anymore. And you're right, but here's what most people don't realize. $100,000 isn't about lifestyle, it's about momentum. It's the point where the system finally starts working with you instead of against you. And most people never get there because they fall into a few traps, quiet, socially acceptable traps that feel normal but are absolutely deadly to wealth. Trap number 1, lifestyle creep, the silent killer. Here's how this usually goes. You get a raise, maybe $500 more per month. You tell yourself, I earned this. So you upgrade something. Slightly nicer apartment, better car payment, more eating out, a few more subscriptions. Individually, none of it feels reckless, but collectively, that extra $500 is gone, sometimes more than gone. This is lifestyle creep, and it's the #1 reason people never build wealth. Here's the psychology behind it. Humans adjust faster than their bank accounts. Your brain normalizes new income almost instantly. What felt like extra money becomes the new baseline within months. And now you're running faster but standing in the same place. Here's the part that frustrates me. Most people think wealth is about how much you make. It's not. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And lifestyle creep quietly erases that gap every single time. Feeling rich versus being rich. This is where most people get completely confused. Feeling rich is a new car, a bigger place, the latest phone, vacations on credit. Being rich is owning assets, having options, sleeping well at night, not needing your next paycheck to survive. One is a costume, the other is real wealth. Here's a simple but uncomfortable truth. Someone making $80,000 who lives like they make $45,000 will always outperform someone making $120,000 who lives like they make $120,000. Math doesn't care about vibes or Instagram. A simple story. Rich Richard versus poor Peter. Let's make this concrete. Both Richard and Peter make $90,000 a year. Richard drives a $12,000 used car, modest apartment, meal preps, invests $2,500 a month. Peter, new car lease, DoorDash 4 times a week, upgraded everything, invests whatever's left. After 10 years, Richard has over $400,000 invested. Peter has maybe $30,000 and a car payment. Same income, completely different outcomes. The difference? Not intelligence, not luck, just control over lifestyle. Trap number 2, the monthly payment mindset. Let me ask you something. How much does a car cost? If your answer started with, well, it's about $400 a month, you've been programmed. Modern consumer culture doesn't sell prices, it sells payments, because payments hide reality. That $30,000 car at $399 a month for 72 months, you'll pay around $35,000 by the end. That's before higher insurance, maintenance, and depreciation. And the second you drive it off the lot, you're underwater. Here's what most people don't realize. Every monthly payment is a permanent drag on your future. It doesn't just cost money, it steals capacity. Capacity to save, capacity to invest, capacity to breathe. Your paycheck shows up already spoken for. And then people say, I don't have money to invest. No, you already spent it, just slowly. If you remember nothing else, remember this. If you can't afford it nearly outright, you can't afford it. That one rule alone keeps people out of 20-year financial holes. Trap number 3, waiting to invest later. This is where it gets really interesting. Most people think they'll start investing when they make more money, life settles down, things feel stable. Later, later, later. Here's the problem. Time is the most valuable ingredient in wealth, and it's non-refundable. Let's do some math. Invest $200 a month at 8% returns. Starting at 22, $100,000 plus by late 30s. Starting at 32, around $50,000. Starting at 42, around $20,000. Same money, same returns. The only difference, time. Compound interest is brutal if you ignore it, and magical if you respect it. But psychologically, people want progress now. They want to feel rich now. Wealth doesn't work like that. Now you might be thinking, what about inflation? What about market crashes? Fair questions. Inflation averages around 2 to 3%. Markets historically return around 8 to 10%. That's why you invest, to outpace inflation. And crashes? They happen, always have. But if you're investing consistently, crashes are discounts, not disasters. Trying to time the market keeps people stuck forever. Being in the market builds wealth. Trap number 4, owning stuff instead of assets. Take a look at what most people own. Cars losing value, phones worth $200 in 2 years, closets full of clothes, subscriptions quietly draining $200 to $300 a month. None of that is wealth. Those are liabilities dressed up as lifestyle. Now compare that to what wealthy people own. Index funds, businesses, rental properties, assets that grow or pay them. One group buys things, the other buys things that buy things. That difference changes everything. Why $100,000 is the turning point. Here's why this number matters so much. At $100,000 invested, an average 8% return gives you $8,000 a year. That's about $650 a month without lifting a finger. Your money finally starts pulling weight. The first $100,000 is slow, painful, boring. The second comes faster. The third, faster still. It's like pushing a boulder uphill, brutal at first, effortless once it tips. Most people quit before the hill ends. Let's make this actionable. Step 1. Kill high-interest debt. Anything above 7% interest is an emergency. You cannot outinvest bad debt. Step 2. Build a real emergency fund. $10,000. Boring. Necessary. This keeps you from sliding backward. Step 3. Automate investing. $300, $500, whatever you can do, automatically. Index funds, no drama. Step 4. Live below your means. Not forever, but long enough to build momentum. Live at 60% of your income and watch how fast your life changes. The formula most people miss. Skill plus time plus compounding equals wealth. Most people are missing at least one. They earn well but start too late. They invest but spend everything. They know the math but lack discipline. Fix just one of those and your future changes. Final thought. Reaching $100,000 in net worth has almost nothing to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with patience, restraint, and systems. It's not flashy, it's not fun, it's not Instagram-worthy. But once you cross that line, the game changes. The world rewards people who can delay gratification and punishes everyone else. So if you're stuck at zero right now, good. That's where everyone starts. Just don't stay there. Build the first $100,000. Your future self will thank you.